That's annuity do's and don'ts for baby boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-310-4200. That's 800-310-4200.
Well, President Biden's own party is nowhere to be found as he's coming under withering fire from both sides of the aisle for the handling of the U.S. troop withdrawal in Afghanistan. And the American public isn't happy about it either. According to a poll by 538, the president's approval rating has for the first time fallen below 50% in the wake of the Afghanistan crisis. 49.8 to 44 disapprove of how he is running the country. And one can imagine that as the images from Afghanistan soak in, things could get even worse. The latest poll numbers come as members of his own party now vow to investigate the U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan and the intelligence surrounding it, including Senator Bob Menendez, chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, as well as Senators Jack Reed and Mark Warner, who chair the Senate Armed Services and Intelligence Committees. Joining us now, STEF Knight, political reporter for AXIOS. STEF, always good to see you, and we appreciate the time and your hard work. This is the headline that caught our attention. Senate Dems vow to investigate flawed U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. Flawed in quotation marks there. You think about Warner, Menendez, and Reed. These are old friends of then Senator Joe Biden. Are Democrats turning on the president?
I mean, I think you see what happened. You look at the images and the videos that came out over the weekend, on Sunday and Monday, and these Democrats saw it too. And they know that they have to respond. And I don't think anyone looks at that and says this was perfectly executed. And so I think we're seeing that response. And we're seeing that this is an issue that they are willing to criticize the president over, despite them typically supporting the president. And we need to see where this goes. These are big deal vows that they're going to look into this. They're going to investigate. And I think, you are seeing some of them put at least some of the blame on President Trump as well.
Yeah,
they're
for sure.
at least admitting that it's both Biden and Trump's fault that this has played out the way that it has.
Yeah, unusual for this to happen, for a president's own party to say that they're going to investigate the president's actions and what happened. Do we have any idea what this investigation looks like? In January 6th, we were going to have a 9/11 style commission. Do we have a Afghanistan withdrawal 9/11 style commission?
I mean, I think it's a little bit too early for us to tell exactly what this is going to look like, but based on my conversations with members on the Hill, Democrats on the Hill, and given the statements we've seen, I think they're going to take this very seriously. This was a 20-year war, and we're watching it fall apart on live TV in some cases, and so I think we're going to see this taken pretty seriously. What specifically that looks like, I'm not sure at the moment, but I don't think there's any concern that this won't be thoroughly looked at.
Aside from paper statements, you don't really see any Democrats coming out and defending the administration. We've tried to book dozens on our shows, and everybody seems to be on vacation or with their grandkids or whatever it is. If there was a victory lap to be taken on infrastructure, they'd all be lining up to be on TV. Are you seeing the same thing?
In my conversations with people, I have heard some people kind of come to the Biden administration's defense and pointing to the situation that was in place through the Trump administration, saying, giving credit to the Biden administration, saying, they had a tough situation, especially when you look at what's happening with the people trying to leave with our allies in Afghanistan, trying to get special immigrant visas. I've heard some people, say that this is a situation that was not great under Trump, and now the Biden administration is doing the best they can. But beyond that, I think you're right. There hasn't been any strong, loud support of President Biden so far.
Yeah, none that we've been able to hear. Sort of switching gears a little bit in terms of the messaging that's coming from the Biden administration. This is Wendy Sherman, Deputy Secretary of State. Take a listen.
The United States and the international community will be vigilant in monitoring how any future government in Afghanistan ensures the rights and freedoms that women and girls in that country have come to expect. In the last 20 years, Afghan women and girls have embraced their freedom.
Wouldn't those statements be a lot more powerful coming from the first female vice president than from some random underling at state?
I think it depends on who's listening, right? Who is listening to that. And I think we need to give them time. We'll see whether Vice President Kamala Harris comes out and speaks on this. Again, this is all unfolding very quickly. And so I don't think we have fully seen how the administration plans to handle this. We have heard the president himself speak out on this on multiple occasions now. So, you know, would it be powerful? Of course, whenever the vice president of the United States speaks, it is powerful. And we'll have to see whether that's something she decides to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, though, because so often in the photo ops with President Biden, especially around COVID, you saw the vice president standing behind him. Especially when there was good news. We didn't see her yesterday during the president's brief remarks on Afghanistan. Didn't see her today during the president's remarks on COVID. Any reporting on where she is or why she seems to be so detached from the crisis right now?
I don't have any direct reporting on why she hasn't been present, but of course have reported on her role on other issues as well, including voting rights and immigration. So I'm sure she is already busy as it is. Yeah. But again, I think we'll have to wait and see if this is something that she also comes out and speaks up about.
It'll be interesting. You've done a lot of great, and one of the reasons we wanted to have you on, Steph, was because you've done so much reporting on the vice president's office. There is this sort of uncomfortable divide, and Mike Allen of Axios as well had great reporting on this, between the president's office and the vice president's office. The vice president famously said that she was the last person in the room when the decision was finally made to withdraw from Afghanistan on August 31st. She owned that back in April and made news about that. Are you hearing anything from her office of how they're trying to distance themselves?
I haven't heard anything specifically about them trying to distance themselves, but again, like we'll see what happens if she decides to come out and speak to this. If this is something that they feel that she can lend weight to, but it does, you know, this certainly isn't something the administration is trying to put away or pretend isn't happening. They have put the people who are most directly involved on this issue, the Secretary of State, you know, leaders in the State Department and Department of Defense have spoken on it repeatedly, and the president himself has come out and spoken on this. So, you know, I think accusations that they're trying to sweep this under the rug is probably not accurate, but I think it's an interesting point whether the vice president will also